If you're a sensitive, empathic, intuitive person, chances are that you struggle with emotional overwhelm. Hi, I'm Sonia. I teach people how to connect back to their innate divine compass, their GPS, and today we are talking about how to navigate overwhelm as an empathic, sensitive person, how to get clear on what our emotions are telling us, how to connect back to our spirit, and actually how to gain support so that we can not get bogged down in overwhelm and start to get traction, because that is what we want. So if you are new, welcome. If you're returning, nice to see you again, my sweet friends. If you're new, hit subscribe or like, drop me a comment, check out the comments below. I got tons of tools, videos, things for you to help you on your intuitive path. But today, we are talking about being overwhelmed. Now, there are two different ways that we deal with overwhelm. One, we go into overdoing. You know this person. This is your friend who's like, all right, I'm overwhelmed, so what I'm gonna do is battle down the list and do every single thing. These are the people who are probably got some lycra on, they are running, they are rushing, they are overwhelmed, they'll probably snap at you, you're standing in my way. And then we have the other type of overwhelm. This is the energy where we get entrenched in the overwhelm, we freeze. All we wanna do is lay in our beds, turn off our phones, turn off the lights, and hope, pray that somehow something will shift. But if we know both of those things don't work, being a little cha-cha-cha, little spicy little enchilada isn't gonna help you feel less overwhelmed, and neither is being our deep, grounded, entrenched self. I'm definitely somebody who loves my bed, and so I know I'm overwhelmed when I pull the covers right up to my nose. That's the time Sonia's like, Sonia needs some help and support. So first of all, let's talk about what overwhelm is. Overwhelm is when we take on too much energetically. This can mean too many like maybe we're doing too many things, we don't have enough time for ourselves. Maybe even though we are surrounded by energy, negative energy, intense energy that can overwhelm our sweet little nervous systems. As highly sensitive people, as sensitive, empathic little antennas, we have to recognize that we experience the world a lot deeper than some people, most people. And with that same intensity, with that same depth, that's also where we need rest, quiet, integration, and just a moment of pause. So I was talking to one of my clients this week, and the thing that I could always see, we were talking about feeling overwhelmed. And every time that she would get overwhelmed, what she would do was end up canceling everything, saying, I have a headache, I have a stomach ache, I have X, Y, or Z. And what she found was that it ended up keeping her stuck in this energy. Her head would start thinking, she'd get in black and white thinking, she'd end up trying to even do more, and it would actually manifest physically in her body. And that was a way that her physical container was saying, hey, hold on, pay attention to me. You disconnected, it's too much. That would manifest in physical symptoms. So we looked at what was going on. And the first thing that we saw is, one, when we're overwhelmed, we don't give ourselves permission to slow down. If you're feeling overwhelmed, this is the moment to push like the slow motion button on life. Even though our heads want to do the opposite. Because when we're overwhelmed, we can go into overdrive. And when we're in overdrive, we aren't connected to the present moment. We're not connected to our spirit. We're not connected to support. We're not available. We're in our thinking mind. Anytime we're in thinking, we're not in the moment. You can always tell when you're thinking, when your little linear mind is like 10 different places. So, I'm my sweet little client. The first thing, slow down. Start to pay attention. 2, recognize, where can I get support? Like, where do I need support? And that can be from our guides, from our angels. One way that we can ask for support is to make a direct ask. If there's something that you're struggling with, maybe in your life, in work, in something that is outside of yourself where you can't get a solution, ask your guides and your angels for support. And a really easy way to do that is to pray. Prayer is a way that we can turn things over to something bigger than ourselves. And the power of prayer, however you do it, you can even be as simple of a prayer as, help me. can be a really, really beautiful way that we can start to gain the support and actually start to expect support to happen. Now, the other thing that I know about empaths and intuitives that is very true is a lot of times we can ask our angels and guides for support, but we actually forget to ask the people that we are in relationship with, whether that's our coworkers, our partners, our friends, our family, because empaths usually have a tendency to overdo. And so when we're feeling overwhelmed, to ask for help. Get really clear on what you need help with and give people, even in the grounded realm, tangible, accessible things. I need help with X. Your turn to make dinner Y. And those can be ways that we can alleviate that overwhelm. 3, the other thing that I find that we're overwhelmed is that our mental thinking, our capacity gets hijacked. And that's where we can get really critical of ourselves, of our partners, of life, and especially of our sweet little spirits. You can tell when you're in critical thinking, when there's no, like, you just a little negative Nancy. I know when I'm overwhelmed, tired of giving, that's when I can get critical, especially of myself, for sure. So if you're really seeing a lot of criticism, that's probably a red flag that you're feeling overwhelmed in one way or another. And a really great way to start to come back from overwhelm is take a breath. When we're overwhelmed, when we're in that part, we are disconnected from our breath. Your breath connects you back to the present moment, connects you back to your spirit. And actually, when we're not breathing, when we're just breathing in this part, like shoulder breathing, we're like, we get into fight, flight, freeze, figure it out. But when we start to take a breath, a deep breath in through your nose, imagine like you're breathing into your belly button and exhaling like you're saying 10 birthday candles, we start to create some energetic room to breathe. And then we get out of fight, flight, freeze, figure it out, critical sense, and actually start to give ourselves a little bit of space to do something differently. Take a breath. Because when we take a breath, it gives us a moment to make a choice. And so we can move out of reaction to the present moment and then move into action. And 4, when we're overwhelmed, a lot of times it means that we're having a lot of big feelings. And big feelings can confuse us. We can try and figure it out, try to sometimes even be critical of ourselves. We have to go to a higher vibration. But your feelings are good road markers, are things that you value and care about. So instead of having to fix, manage, control, figure it out, it's an invitation to say, what is important to me and what are the parts of my own little human self that need some comfort and compassion? You know, when we're feeling really critical, when we're feeling really negative, when we're feeling really overwhelmed or sad or whatever, you know, it's not a place of that it's bad, good, but that we can trust that the more that we can feel it, by even just paying attention, where am I feeling this in my body? Does it feel tight? Does it feel loose? Does it feel open? When we can start to even describe those sensations, that's when we can start to practice our feeling and even just hold space for it. A tool that I say all the time, and I say it all the time because it's my favorite tool, hand on your heart, hand on your belly, especially when dealing with big feelings. Because that is a way that we connect to our spirit and actually can hold and cradle that loving support for ourselves. You know, I would really encourage you, if you haven't already, download my spiritual toolkit as a beautiful guided meditation to connect you with your spirit as a practice. And know that when you're overwhelmed, you're not alone. Overwhelm usually makes us feel like that we're all by ourselves and there's no one there to help us. But the more that we can open up to support first from our spirit, from ourselves, and then to the people around us, the more that we recognize that we're not alone, that we actually are very connected, and that overwhelm is an invitation for yourself, for your deeper self, and for some intimacy and connection that you're obviously needing and missing. I know that that's what I need. So if you are feeling emotionally overwhelmed, remember, first, slow down. 2, recognize what's even happening in your body. If we're in overthinking, criticism, no solution, probably good chances that you're overwhelmed. 3, ask for help from your guides, from your angels. And the way that we can do that, say prayers. Turn it over to your higher self. And then also ask for help from the people around you. And give them actionable, grounded things that they can do. Because sometimes we're like, I'm overwhelmed. And people are like, I don't know how to help. You give them something specific, it helps. 5, knowing that our emotions tell us good information about the things that are important to us. And so they are important to listen to but not get caught up in a way that will connect to our spirit, hand on our heart, hand on our belly, taking a breath, are ways that we can connect and hold space for that tenderness, not as a problem or a crisis, but as a part of yourself that is so, so, so important. So I hope that you enjoyed my video today. I probably could do like a 30-minute video on this, but I'm gonna keep it shorter today. If you haven't already, hit subscribe and hit like or leave me a comment. I can't tell you how much I just love, love, love hearing from you. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and I post all sorts of tips, tools, videos. And if you haven't already, we have a podcast with my mom and my sister, which is so fun. We love it. And you can even write us different questions. It's all related podcast questions, but check out all the different links below. And most importantly, tell me, what are the videos that you want? I would love to hear from you. So I'm sending you all my love. You're not alone. You are brilliant. Bye.